Hey guys, Miss P here. Today we're going to continue with doing rational expressions. We're going to simplify them today. We're not solving for x yet. There's no equation yet. We're just simplifying. The only thing different is now we have a binomial on top. We don't just have a monomial. So we are going to essentially do the same thing we have been doing now. So you guys got this. So let's look at our denominators. We have a 7 and a 2. So we're going to multiply those together, which gives us 14. That means we're going to multiply the whole equation by 14. Okay, and remember that goes to everything. Okay, essentially, guys, that would look like 14 parentheses x plus 2 because we're multiplying it all by the same thing, plus, and then we have 14 times x plus 1 over 2. All right. What I just wrote out, that's just the background of it. So for right now, I am going to erase that, but that just kind of shows you what you're doing. Wow, this eraser is horrible. Bear with me. It's okay if we have a little in the background, whatever, who cares? Okay. So that 14 is going to go to everything. All right, so 14 times x is 14x. 14 times 2 is 28. And we're going to keep that whole thing over 7. Then we're going to add 14 times x is 14x. Now we're going to do 14 times 1, so you get plus 1. And that's all going to stay over the same denominator as 2. So guys, like we did before, we're just going to divide, but we divide each side. So 14x divided by 7 gives us 2x. Plus 28 divided by 7 gives us 4. So this whole thing here, okay, became that. All right, so now we're going to continue on to the next part. 14x, okay, divided by 2 is 7x. So we're bringing down this plus right here. So plus 7x. And I don't know why that 4 didn't go over there, because 14 times, if you look over here, 14 times 1 is 14. I forgot to write that 4. That is my bad. But 14 divided by 2 is 7, so plus 7. Guys, from here, we're just going to combine our like terms. We get pretty lucky. 2x goes with 7x, and 4 goes with 7. So 2x plus 7x is 9x. And a positive 4 plus 7 is 11, so plus 11. Guys, that's your answer. You're done. It's beautiful. All right, so pause now if you need to, because I'm about to erase everything. Bam. All right, guys, now we are going to go to the next example. Example 2. Okay. All right, guys, so look at this. We are going to look at both denominators. We have a 4 and we have a 5. So we are going to do 4 times 5. All right, which gives us 20. That means we're multiplying everything by 20. So that 20 is going to go to the x, the negative 3, the x, and the 2. All right. So let's just multiply out. 20 times x gives us 20x. Now 20 times a negative 3, do not forget about that negative, is a negative 60. And this whole thing is going to stay over 4. We had a plus sign here, so we're dragging a plus sign. Now we're going to get 20 times x, which is 20x, and 20 times 2, which is 40, so plus 40, and that whole thing is going to be over the 5. So now our next thing is we are just going to divide out. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is 20x divided by 4, which gives us 5x. Now we're going to do a negative 60 divided by 4, which gives us a negative 15. Bring down your plus sign from here, so plus. Now we're going to do 20x divided by 5, which is 4x. And we're going to do 40 divided by 5, which is 8. From here, we're just combining our like terms. We know our 5x goes with the 4x, and the negative 15 goes with the positive 8. So all we're going to do is combine like terms. 5x plus 4x is 9x, and negative 15 plus 8 is a negative 7. That is your answer. We have just done example 2. Please pause if you need to copy because I am about to erase and go on. Erase. And we're going on to example 3. All right, guys, example 3 is the first example we actually have subtraction with, okay? Not too crazy. Don't worry, we got this. So, example 3. This is my bad. This is supposed to be a 5. Okay. So let's look at this now. Dark color. All right. Our denominators are, I do not like that cursor there. I am sorry. This is me being just really obnoxious. All right. I put the cursor there. Good. All right. So now we're going to look at our two denominators. We have a 6 and a 5. We're going to multiply them, and 6 times 5 is 30. Most of your problems, you're not going to have to multiply by a number this high, but I figured why not make the examples like this. All right, so we're multiplying everything by 30. That means the 30 is going to the x, to the 2, to the x, to the 1. All right, so 30 times x is 30x. 30 times a positive 2 is a positive 60. And that all is going to stay over 6. Now we're going to use our subtraction sign. Guys, when I do subtraction and there's a binomial after, I usually like to put the whole thing in parentheses. I would suggest you doing that. All right, so 30 times x is 30x. And 30 times 1 is a plus 30. Keep that whole thing over 5. Now, guys, the reason I did this in parentheses is because we're not just subtracting the 30x, but we're also subtracting the 30, right? We're subtracting this whole thing from here. All right, so now we're just going to divide out. We get 30x divided by 6, which gives us 5x. 60 divided by 6 gives us 10. Then I'm going to put my minus parentheses. 30x divided by 5 is 6x. And 30 divided by 5, again, is just 6 this time. All right. So, guys, we're subtracting the 6x and the 6. What I like to do is I like to change my signs. I think that it makes it easier for me. When you have a negative here, if you change this to a plus, you can change everything. That means this is a negative and this is a negative. So our new equation is actually 5x plus 10 minus 6x minus 6. All right, I think that's a lot easier to work with that. So now we're just going to combine like terms. 5 minus 6 gives us a negative 1x. And 10 minus 6 gives us a positive 4. So this is our answer. All right. Back to erase. All right, guys, I'm going to go through the next two examples a little faster because I feel like hopefully we understand what's going on. And plus, you guys are going to have PODs before every day, so you'll see another example every day. So you got this. All right, guys, example 4. Let's look at 8 and 3. We're going to multiply those because those are our denominators, right? 8 times 3 is 24. That means we are multiplying everything by 24. 24 goes to the x to the 5, to the x to the negative 2. All right, we multiply that out. We get 24x plus 5 times 24 is 120. And that whole thing is going to stay over 8. Then we're going to subtract. Remember, I do all that nice parenthesis. 24 times x is 24x. 24 times a negative 2, guys, don't forget that negative, is a negative 48. Keep that whole thing over 3. Now we are just going to divide. 24x, so we're going to start here and go and divide. 24x divided by 8 gives us 3x. 120 divided by 8 gives us 15. Then we're going to subtract what we get inside. 24x divided by 3 is 8x. And a negative 48 divided by 3 is a negative 16. All right, so now, like I said before, we're going to change everything. This becomes a plus. This becomes a minus. This becomes a plus. So our new equation is 3x plus 15 minus 8x plus 16. Now, combined like terms. All right, 3x minus 8x. Okay, there's a minus in front. Gives us negative 5x. And 15 plus 16 gives us a positive 31. So your answer for this one should be negative 5x plus 31. Perfect. All right, last one. The only thing different in the last example is our binomial actually has a number in front of x, and you'll see that in a second. Right here, for this example, we actually have a 2 in front of the x, which, guys, is not much different. You guys got this. Let's give it a try. So we're going to look at the two numbers that are in our denominator. We have a 3 and a 4 for this equation. So we're going to do 3 times 4, which is 12. So we're going to multiply everything by 12. That means it goes to the x, to the negative 4, to the 2x, to the negative 5. Okay? So we're going to get 12x minus 12 times negative 4 gives us a 48. And we're going to keep that all over the 3. And we're keeping the same denominators. Now a minus, and since it's minus, I'm going to put it in parentheses. 12 times 2x gives us 24x. And 12 times a negative 5 gives us a negative 60, and that whole thing stays over 4. Now we're just going to divide out. 12x divided by 3 gives us 4x. A negative 42 divided by 3 gives us a negative 16. Bring down your negative and your parentheses. 24x divided by 4 gives us 6x. And a negative 60 divided by 4 gives us a negative 15. So, just like I did before, to make things easy, I change my signs. This becomes a plus, this becomes a negative, this becomes a plus. So I end up with 4x minus 16. I like to rewrite it because it's nicer. Minus 6x plus 15. Combine like terms. The 4x goes with the negative 6x. The negative 16 goes with a positive 15. All right, so 4 minus 6x gives us negative 2x. Okay, and then a negative 16 plus 15 gives us a negative 1. So this right here is your answer. We are done. These are your 5 example problems for the week. Hope you guys are having a good day, and just stay rested and stay healthy. See you guys soon. Bye.